Hey there, crypto friends! Thanks again for joining me. So today we have a special guest on the channel. Please help me welcome Sander Gansen, who is the founder of World of Freight. How's it going, Sander?
Hi, it's going wonderful. How's it going?
Not too bad, man. I'm excited to have you here, to talk about this project because there's some pretty interesting aspects here, outside of just the NFT stuff that you guys are doing right now and minting, with a whole other supply chain based system that you guys are working on. So I want to hear about all of these things, man. I want you to be able to share this with the community. But before we dive into everything, tell me just a little bit about yourself and your background, just so we kind of get an idea of the man behind this project.
Well, there's more than just one man behind the project, but from
of course,
my
there's always
side,
a team. Yeah, there's always a team.
of course. So from my side, I've been slowly getting into crypto back ever since from 2015, when I was in the States in Draper University, where the Boost VC and other nice things are happening all around.
Big fan of Draper, yeah. Tim's a definitely big fan of Tim.
Tim's a good friend.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started looking towards crypto, and finally started really going deeper after the last bull cycle ended. And then back in 2020, we started really going deep into crypto and started thinking if we could start building something in the crypto sphere as well. So before that, we've been building different logistics and robotics related startups, even bought one, sold it, and been able to grow the buying company as well. But then we decided that now it's time to go into the decentralized world. And that's where we founded WOF Labs along with World of Freight and Supply.
Wow, so coming from the robotics industry, I think that's a pretty large shift there, right? I mean, the difference of having this very physical product to going to a very digital, decentralized project, it definitely had to have been quite the transition, huh?
Well, it's not only robotics, but also the logistics. And overall, even in the robotics, I was rather looking at the autonomous systems, which then are quite connected with the decentralized systems, because everything needs to be autonomous here.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I totally understand that. I think there is a little bit more connectivity there, I guess, than be a synergy between the two different fields. Very interesting. Yeah. So, how did you guys come across this concept for World of Freight and Subplane as a platform for what you're wanting to move forward here? Because, like I said, what you were working on really does kind of bridge the digital and the physical world together. So tell us a little bit about those concepts.
Yeah, so Subplane was something that started before for us. We initially, having built and sold a digital logistics company, we realized all the problems why logistics cannot be disrupted with the old ways and why the blockchain aspect is needed. So we started looking towards that. And the main things is that everything nowadays is trying to be a end-to-end solution. Right. And storing everything inside. But in most cases, as in logistics, there's two parties. There's the companies shipping stuff, and then the commerce companies who need things to be shipped. And neither of them want to share their data with a third party directly. At least they don't want it to be stored somewhere else.
Sure.
Then that's where blockchain comes in. That there's a need for a protocol in between those two parties that just enables to communicate the information. And then you can build all sorts of smart things on top of that. So that's what we initially started looking at building Subplane. But then we realized that before we can actually build it, we need to have a community of what we call freight friends. So people interested in the industry. And figured that the NFT ecosystem enables us to build a community, do some fun things together, and then bring them over to the Subplane side over time as well. So that's when we started looking into World of Freight back in summer, and did some work, decided to make it all happen, launched the project initially completely silently in September. And ever since then, we've been building different utilities on top of World of Freight.
Okay, so when it comes to the two different kind of aspects of the project here, what makes it important for Subplane to be able to have a community of people around it? Because when it comes down to what you were talking about, having these two parties on either end of the system, is there a necessity for a community to be part of that you know, that linking protocol, right? Is there something that they need to be doing there to help that protocol to you know, continue to function?
Well, it rather comes to the part that disrupting logistics and supply chain industry via blockchain is such a early stage thing that
Sure.
we need more people to think along with us before we can really do it. So it's a long journey, and we need people to take the journey with us. Because so far, most of the things on blockchain are DeFi related, but now we're trying to really get more things into the supply chain as well. So there are some projects, but there's still a very small community when it comes to supply chain and blockchain. So we're trying to grow this first and then move along.
So and kind of using the World of Freight NFTs that you guys have launched here as an on-ramp for doing so, right? Getting people involved in kind of a fun way that involves NFTs, and then, you know, being able to you know, get them interested in the more long-term roadmap and plan for what is going on behind the scenes. So then tell us a little bit about these World of Freight NFTs and how that works, and what you see with the roadmap for that aspect of the project.
Yeah. So first, when we started thinking about making World of Freight, then we were looking at everything was just different animal pictures in the NFT world, mostly.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And then there were a couple of first vehicle-based things, and we figured that everyone is using just one body. But in logistics, we have planes, we have trucks, we have ships, we have all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So we were thinking that let's make it hard for ourselves, and let's bring multiple different types of bodies and start building stuff on top of that. So we ended up with 38 different types of vehicles, 25 of them which were one-out-of-ones, and then 13 which are actually multiple versions of the same vehicle, and decided to make them, create them, mint them, and then had some initial plans of what type of utility to build on top of that. So first thing what we started thinking is that we need, if we add the vehicles, why not to make a racing game? And that's what we are launching most likely next week already. But together with the community, we realized that as we are doing a World of Freight, then we need to do a logistics game as well. So we will next generate a more passive version of a game, which is where you have to be optimizing your freights and stuff, earning different types of things. At the same time, as we have vehicles, we generated utilities like Garage, where you can upgrade your vehicles. You have a junkyard where you can just burn them, and then all the vehicles are earning you tokens because they're constantly working and earning money for that.
Right. So you have you have this game that is getting ready to launch. It's a racing game using, and I'm assuming that all these different types of vehicles have different aspects of like attributes. I mean, of how well they're going to do. Maybe some of them are a little bit faster, or some of them have more speed. Like different attributes. Right? Is that the case here with these?
So all the vehicles that have been minted, they have certain max speeds, max weights, and some other aspects written to them. And within the first version of the game, we're going to keep it kind of like drag race type of thing, similar to Zed Run, but just with vehicles. We have the air type of vehicles going against air type, and the land type going against land type.
Okay, that's where I was a little confused. I was like, yeah, because if you have planes and like drones and other things like that, how do those stack up against things that are on the ground? So you guys have different classes, essentially, race classes for those different types. Okay. And
next step for the game is to make campaigns where the plane and the truck need to cooperate, so that the team which has the best vehicles overall is able to win.
Very cool. So yeah, so you guys are really, thought through all of this, when it comes to, building out something that's going to be fun for your community, and gets people interested in the overall concept of where you guys are moving in a larger, scope of things with Subplane. And this is kind of something that, is a fun game for the community to get involved in, to be able to buy NFTs and upgrade them to, be able to compete against each other. Is it going to be a one versus one, or is it like multiple, vehicles per race?
It is initially 12 against each other.
Okay, so, 12 versus 12. So it is multiplayer, so it's not going to be like a single PvP kind of situation. So that's very cool. So then when it comes down to the winner, what are they earning? Tell us a little bit about what they're actually earning when they play this game.
Well, in order to go and race, they need to pay WOF tokens as an entry fee, and then the winners are earning WOF tokens. And WOF tokens are also passively earned by all the vehicles by just having them in your wallet. You don't even need to stake them. They're just constantly generating those tokens. Okay. And basically, the idea of the tokens is to have it as a currency within the ecosystem where you can use them to upgrade the vehicles, you can use them to race, and there will be other utilities in the future as well for the tokens.
So, and this is an Ethereum-based token, right? That you're earning just passively by holding one of these cars or planes or air vehicles, right? And then that it becomes the in-game utility token that people are winning when they're racing, and then they can also use that for future things, right? So being able to enter the races, and will you be able to use the token for doing future purchases or things like that as well?
Yeah. We already have one drop actually coming back this weekend. Every World of Freight vehicle owner will be able to freely claim a freight punk, and those freight punks will also have utilities with the token. But in the future, we will most likely generate further purchasing options so that you can use the tokens for other things as well.
Awesome. So definitely giving some pretty high utility there to the token. So when it comes to the two different systems here, how are they going to be connected? Because I know that you guys have actually multiple tokens here, right? So is there going to be any kind of connection between World of Freight and what's going on with Subplane and the two different tokens?
Yeah, so WOF token is already launched. So Plane token will most likely be launched sometime early next year. And the first thing is that every World of Freight NFT holder will be airdropped the Subplane tokens.
Okay, wow.
And then the Subplane tokens will be used within the Subplane ecosystem. Our community has already been demanding for some sort of cross-utilization. So we are looking into doing that as well. We are not fully sure yet, but we'll most likely generate some sort of utility between those two tokens eventually.
Okay, so it's definitely on your radar, and it seems like your community is on the same page that I'm on here too. I'm like, hey, is there going to be some sort of cross something going on there? Because I think definitely finding a way to bridge these two things, this NFT based play to earn game with what you guys are doing here in supply chain management with the other protocol. I think it makes a lot of sense being able to kind of gamify that bridge.
There will be some DeFi elements for sure, where we already have been thinking of making it possible to not only swap between WOF and Subplane tokens, but also stake one to the other and some other ideas.
Wow. And so looking forward here, your guys' NFTs are minting right now. They just hit about 20% of the over total mint capacity, right, of 10,000, and you guys are getting ready to launch this game for World of Freight here in just about a week or so, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So
and along the way, we just revised the roadmap a bit, added some more fun things there. So we are planning on doing a actual in real life event where all the NFT holders can come for free. We are looking to organize some treasure hunts where one of the awards will be a Tesla. And there are some other fun things in the plans as well, including a more future-looking vehicle drop for all the existing vehicle owners.
Awesome. So a lot of plans here and utility locked in these NFTs. Really appreciate you, coming by and explaining everything that World of Freight is doing. There's so much more behind the scenes. If you just go and you think, oh, it's a racing game, and I can play and earn, but what you guys are really doing is a lot bigger, on a lot bigger scale when it comes down to trying to solve some of these problems within the logistics and kind of in the world of freight shipping of what I'm saying which is to kind of a little bit of a pun there, but like that's kind of what you guys are doing is trying to solve some of those issues that we see there and taking it into the next century here with greater technology.
Exactly. And from our side, we actually care about generating more utility to the team. So even though our roadmap is saying that we're starting to build some things a few percentages away from where we are now, then we're already building most of it in the backend. So we We rather want to give more to the community than just weight behind the community.
Right, over deliver versus under than under promise, right? So you say, hey, we're gonna do all these things and then don't get them done, which we see a ton of NFT projects do. And I'm on the same boat as you. I'd rather over deliver and say, here's what we were gonna do, and then okay, we did 10 more things, and these are awesome, and people are like, wow, this is amazing. So I think you guys are on the right track there, Sander. But thank you so much for joining us today. Before we go, is there any last little bits of information you want to share with the audience here?
Come and join our Discords or our community calls, which we have twice a week. You can find the information inside our Discord or Twitter, and just get to know us and join us.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll make sure all the links are down below here in the description for you guys, so you can join the Discord there and go get your racing truck or flying vehicle, so you can get on these races that are coming here pretty soon. That's all we have for today, folks. Until next time, stash that crypto.